Hello, how's everyone doing? Today we're going to be doing an overview of Narbash, one of the many supports in Predecessor, and by far one of the most interesting characters in this game in my opinion when it comes to build diversity, potential, everything like that. But anyway, let's get into the video. Let's not waste any time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get into it. Starting with his abilities, his passive ability is called Beat Drop. Essentially, you build up these stacks of things called Rhythm that stack up and improve your abilities, essentially. Like your healing, for example, Narbash has healing, and that will be improved the more stacks you have, as well as, your Thunk, your March, everything like that, even your ultimate. It all gets boosted by your passive. Next we have his alternate ability. It's called Thunk. Essentially it's a stun, and one of the most important things you need to know about this ability in particular is you should get this as your first ability, always. Like when you first spawn in, this should be your first ability that you get, mainly because it will help you and your carry keep the enemy at bay in case they get too aggressive. Or vice versa, if your carry is being really aggressive, it'll help you respond to that aggression with a stun instead of just sitting there and healing them or boosting them. You'll be able to be deadly from the very beginning. The next ability, and for some reason they classify this as his primary ability, it's called March. It's basically a movement speed buff for you and your allies, any allies that are near you. It's really versatile. It makes Narbash extremely hard to hit, especially when you're trying to get out of danger. You can get away from danger extremely quickly, especially if you have full rhythm stacks with your passive. You'll be getting that movement speed for so long, you'll probably get a chance to use it again by the time you need to. Narbash's next ability, and by far the most important ability, is called Song of My People. It's a AoE healing that you can toggle on and off, which pretty much means when you press the ability, the button for it, it'll turn the healing on, and then you can turn it off again whenever you choose. It's really useful, especially late game when you've built up enough magical power for it to be better, because if you look on the description, it scales with your magical power. So the stronger that you are, the more healing you'll be able to give yourself and your teammates. I'd say be careful to use this early game. Don't use it all the time when you're low level, because it really does drain mana very fast early game. So if you're trying to play a little bit competitively and manage your mana, just use it when you absolutely have to until you get your mana regen up. Now, Narbash's ultimate, it's extremely good at crowd control and even turning the tide in a fight. Essentially, you bang your drums down, which slows down all the enemies around you, and then when you're done banging the drums at the end of the drum solo, you bash down and it knocks all of your enemies up for a little bit, which usually would give you and your carry enough time to either A, kill them, or B, run away. So it definitely is a lifesaver in most situations. This is the prestige skin for Narbash. It looks pretty good. I do like it a lot more than his default skin, but there are plenty of other skins for Narbash. Not plenty, but there's a few other skins, and they're pretty good. But yeah, this is his emote. It's a little dance. For crest items, the crest I usually would recommend for most supports in general would be the Consort crest, mainly because of Tranquility. It only has a 40-second cooldown, which is half of these, over half of these. And well, this is the other support crest. All of these are either 100 seconds and above, but this one's only 40 seconds, and it's a flat heal. It just straight up heals you and your teammates for a flat amount of health plus however much magic damage you have. like 50% of your magic damage. So 150 health plus 50% of your magic damage. It's just it's extremely versatile. I mean, who doesn't want an extra heal? You know, as far as builds go for Narbash, this is my recommended support build for him as of this update. The two main reasons for that are you really want to prioritize mana regen and health when it comes to Narbash, considering you're going to be healing a lot, so you're going to be going through mana very quickly, and B, you're going to be, you know, in combat a lot. You're going to be up in people's faces a lot, taking a lot of bullets and a lot of hits, you know, so you're going to need the health to be able to at least survive until your carry can, you know, finish the job for you or something like that. So you start out with Crystal Tier mainly for the mana regen, the heal and shield power, the ability haste, and the physical power. It gives you a 4 of the things that you need a lot early game, especially with the 150 mana regen. It's a lifesaver. The healing and shielding, it's really useful for you mainly, and if your carry is something like Grim, for example, it'll buff them a lot as well. And obviously, you know, ability haste is useful for everybody. The next item is the Tainted Totem, mainly because, you know, you're going to need that health, plus the mana regen, the magic power, the ability haste. It's basically, these two items are basically the best two items for Narbash currently in the game, in my opinion. You know, you get Tainted right away, and you already have over 200 mana regen. And then the third item, just to add more mana regen, heal and shield power, more magical power, the Windcaller. It helps a lot, that extra boost in movement speed. You know, it's so useful even though it's only periodically. You know, it really does come in handy. And then fourth, I tend to get the Truesilver Bracelet next, mainly to boost his ult, because it gets an advantage for having more health. You get a 20% health shield, plus 150. You know, it's for like mid to late game when you're going to be getting in those big group fights and you're really going to want to get in there without being interrupted as much. Fifth, I'd have to go with the Tainted Charm. You know, it gives more health, more mana regen, more ability haste, so you know, all the good stuff. Plus, it's another blighted item or tainted item, so it gives you, you know, more blighted. Which, you know, double blighted is always really useful, at least in my opinion. Golem's Gift as my last item. It's kind of an interesting 6th item. I bounced around between different items for a long time before I came to this one. And the main reason I did that is if you get all the way to your 6th item in a match, usually it's been a pretty good match, like nobody surrendered, so it's a pretty close match. So you're going to need all of the defense and mana regen and healing plus magical power, you know, that you can get with Narbash. So having Golem's Gift really puts him over the edge. For the Tonic item after your 6th item, to really seal the build together, I've kind of gone towards the Stamina Tonic for Narbash. Mainly because, like I said, you want to prioritize mana regen, but you also want to prioritize health. So since my items already give me so much mana regen, I already have 28%. I will get this item to bring my health from 3679 all the way to 3979. Because, like I said, with the Truesilver Bracelet, the more health I have, the better that shield is for my ult. So with this much health, it gives me, you know, that much more, you know, stopping power with Narbash. It's just to basically summarize, this is what your matches are going to look like as Narbash. You're basically going to be running around with your carry like this the whole time, and you know, as you can see, I have just enough mana regen to where I can always be healing. Like, I can always have my healing turned on, and then I can constantly spam this as fast as it can recharge, which is kind of the goal that you want to achieve with Narbash when it comes to support. And if you notice, I have about 59 going up to 62 mana regen. that's not just for me, that's also for my carry. They get about 50 of that, 50, 52-ish of that, something around there. So, you know, 50 mana or 50 health regen a second, that adds up quick. So he can really turn the tide in a fight. Dude, all the way to the end, I appreciate every single one of y'all so much. Like, seriously, thank you guys. You are all awesome. I hope to see you guys in the next video, but please make sure to like and subscribe if you found my content interesting in any way whatsoever. I stream every day, so yeah, be sure to check those out if that's your thing. But yeah, thank you.